Hi everyone. Today we'll look at intentional practice in meditation. Let's start by stopping. Close your eyes. Have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Just become still and quiet. And allow yourself to settle into the present moment. Feel your body. Check its energy levels. Does it feel tired? Does it feel tight? Now look for the same thing in your breathing. Does your breathing feel tired? Does it feel constrained? Does it feel small and tight and fast? And then, continuing the link, let's look at the mind. Does the mind feel tired? Does your mind feel tight or fast? If you notice any of these things, then it's good that we have stopped and become still and quiet and taken the time to check in. If you are feeling relaxed, completely relaxed and steady with excellent breathing, then great. That's a sign that you've been not getting too caught up in drama or stress, that you've maintained some sort of composure, presence of mind. We know because it will be written into your body and your breath. Regardless of how we feel right now, we know that this can change. Let's start initiating that process of change. Again, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Use that sigh to release tension from your body and mind. And then see if you can feel it changing. Right now, just try to be relaxed in this moment. No matter what has been happening, no matter what you have been doing, no matter how busy you may have been, no matter how anxious or worried, no matter if you've been having an argument with someone or feeling depressed. Now we start again in the present moment. We slow everything down to stillness and quiet. Releasing tension from our body by relaxing and releasing with a softness in the muscles. Softening around the breath, being very gentle in the way you are holding your breath, in the way you are moving your breath. This gentling, this softening, this quietening, this is the solution for all stress and fatigue. Slowing down the mind, slowing down the body and its movements and actions, slowing down the breath. Try now to breathe more slowly, more deeply. If you can, through the nose now only. Slowly in, up towards full, but don't push at the boundary. And slow down towards empty, but not pushing at all. Exploring the space you have within you for your breath and the muscles around the breath. Creating space, but most of all, relaxing into the space. Make sure that the breath is smooth and steady and slow and soft. And with this we create a new feeling, a deeper feeling of calmness and relaxation, internal deep calmness. Bring it into your body as a feeling, or find the feeling that is already there. The feeling in your body that will translate into a feeling in your mind. Opening up space from within, in your breathing and in your mind. Remember that the brain loves oxygen, and so if you are getting tired, it's often because you've had anxiety. You've therefore been tightening your breathing, restricting your oxygen levels, and then the brain will start to stress out and become fatigued. The body will become more tired. That's why we are yawning, to get more oxygen. Right now we are opening up the body, breathing better. The brain will start to feel more alive, more clear and clean, invigorated, And this will come through as a feeling in your mind. This is how we can change from a negative feeling to a positive. Negative thought processes changing to positive ones. Okay, that's probably enough. Next time you breathe in, change to using the mouth. Have a big breath in when you're ready. And another excellent deep sigh. And open your eyes. And come back to the space that you're in. Just be aware of it. You don't need to look around it, but you can see it. We are broadening our awareness, not getting too narrow, too small within ourselves. Keep expanding the awareness outwards. Be aware of the space you're in. You can feel your body now. It is in a space, in the world. The body is breathing. But around you, there are sounds, people doing things everywhere. The world is happening right now around us. But here we are mostly still and quiet, composed. Okay, so that's just a way to create mental space for ourselves. Now, this session has the title Intention, and there's so many different intentions we can bring to the practice, but we'll just look at a couple of them. One of them is the intention to be mentally and emotionally healthy. Knowing that when we are stressed and tired, then we will overreact very easily and also be prone to negative impulses and thoughts. So we create space. We also clear some of the fatigue away and re-energize. So this is like a cleansing practice. And then you can go back into the community with the people that you know in your life and perhaps be a little bit more centered and open and ready. Think about in the last few days, have you lost your composure? Was that costly for you and for others? Did it create what we call violence, harm to others and also to yourself? Let's just take a minute or so. Just think through the last couple of days. If you've had any arguments with anyone, for example, just see. Have a sigh, let go of all of that. So another intention I could have is to be more beneficial to others. And by that I mean not causing people difficulties by the way that I behave and react and emote. So I know that I act all the time based on my habits which have been set over many years and which often are linked to my childhood and my anxieties and fears. So I'll often do things, say things, react in certain ways, and sometimes I just don't even realize I'm doing it, or I can't stop myself doing it. Even something like talking too much, which you may have noticed in these videos. So, if my intention is to be helpful to others, then I could be aware of something like that and really try to be mindful of myself and the way I am acting and affecting others. So could you. One of the best things to practice is to be a good listener, to try to give people time and space to express themselves, and to really try to listen to them and notice your own mind and its judgments and opinions and see if you can let go of them. That's one of my most important intentions these days. It's something I would need to work on regularly, every day, in fact, morning and night. If I really am honest with myself. Another intention we could think of at this time is just to be caring and considerate. Everyone's got their own perspective at this time, their own position on what's happening, especially relative to the coronavirus. But it doesn't matter what time of year, it's happening always in our lives, in our world. We all have our own position and perspective. And the best thing is if we can respect and be interested in other people's perspectives and positions. So this is something to be aware of within your own mind. How willing are you really to respect others, their opinions, their ideas? We really have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be mindful to see this sort of stuff. This is about awareness, self-awareness, looking for real subtlety, watching our own mind. Okay, I'm going to read something, a beautiful intention. This is a Buddhist practice. This is part of the 8 verses of thought transformation. It's really interesting work, these 8 verses, and I'll just read the first one. I'll just preface it by saying that when you do this work, you consider these ideas and then you consider your egoic reactions to them, whether you like them, whether you reject them, whether you find them difficult to do, or whether you just decide you don't care about them. So watch your own reactions to this idea. I'll read it first. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings, who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I shall hold them most dear at all times. I'll read it again. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings, who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I shall hold them, all of them, most dear at all times. Just have a little bit of time to think about that and just watch your initial interpretations and reactions. Try to have gentle, easy breathing as you think. So many of us would think, okay, that seems pretty reasonable. But if we really look at our mind, we may find that we don't do this. We don't do this at all. I'll read it one more time just so you can understand it more. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I shall hold them most dear at all times. Okay, so we'll just examine it or break it into parts. Determined is a good word here in terms of the intention. I am determined to monitor my own mind and communications and way of being, to be in line with this idea, if I so wish to have that intention. So, determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings, not just humans, of course. That includes animals who also have feelings and emotions and don't want to die and don't want to be eaten or enslaved, who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel. So all sentient beings, including myself, who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel. So if I had a jewel that gave me all of my wishes, and we're looking at the idea of self-cherishing here, I want to get everything that I want. That's the nature of my mind deep down. I avoid what I don't like, I resist it, I push it away, and I really try to get what I want. If I had a jewel that gave me everything I wanted, how valuable I would think that is. But imagine if I considered all sentient beings more precious than that. All sentient beings, not just the ones I like, not just my family, for example. I shall hold them most dear at all times. All times. And that's the tricky one. Because we might do it when it suits us, but we may find it very difficult when we don't like someone. Okay. Just think about that. Is that a good intention to have? Could it be something that you might think about taking on? To really try and consider all sentient beings as precious and hold them dearly at all times. If I meditate honestly upon my mind throughout the day, I can see that I don't do that. I may even think it's a good idea, but I don't sustain consistency on that attitude. And I'm very picky about it. And if someone does something I don't like, I'm completely righteous in saying, oh, they're a bad person, I'm going to shut down, something like that. Look at those people, they're bad, what they're doing is wrong, etc. So anyone we don't like, we quickly throw out these intentions. And there's a real cost there for us, and of course for the people that we have attitudes about. Let's just have a couple minutes to think about that, think about your own life and your own mind. And keep your breathing going nice and gently and slowly. Have a deep breath. Come back to the space. I don't think there's ever a time in life when it's not important for us to consider our intentions, to reflect upon the way we are behaving and communicating and acting. There's never a time not to listen and not to be respectful. So as a meditator, I'm interested in why I can't sustain that attitude. And I can see it has a lot to do with my past and the stories I've made up about myself, the world, and what is right and what is wrong. And so this is the work that I would like to continue doing. And I find that it is possible to transform my thoughts. And usually it seems that other people enjoy the benefit of that. The more transformed I can be, the less negative and selfish I can be. So that is a gift to others, but it is a gift to myself too, because it creates connection. Thank you. I hope this session has been beneficial in some way. Take care.